this is not a new discussion, I should say. This is an old discussion, because if we go back to the 1890s when the US suffered a big, well, just prior to that and in early part of the 1890s, the world has suffered a depression, but the US suffered the biggest depression that they had. It was the biggest depression in the United States, greater than the 1930s. And a bloke called Frank Boehm wrote a book, and it was called The Wizard of Oz. And
that's a very good description.
Yes, and the Oz, of course, was about an ounce of gold. And the big argument, because there was an election on, the big argument at the time was, should we have the silver standard or the gold standard? And of course, Dorothy had silver shoes originally. They only got made for out of Technicolor when they made the movie, but original shoes were silver, and it was her silver shoes bouncing on the gold road, the yellow brick road, the gold standard. And of course, the Emerald City was the paper. And the big argument around then was, what should it be? And should we have this paper money? Is it useless? This is what government prints and makes, and is it just promissory notes made by government? Like, we promise to pay you honour. And the big argument was, stuff all that. We should go back to silver coins and gold coins, because people who worked on the railways got paid silver dollars. And unfortunately, the silver price went down. That was a big issue. But that argument, this discussion that we're now having, is not a new discussion. It's an old discussion, and everybody gets nervous today. Oh, this is a conspiracy theory. No, this is real. This has happened before, and it's not a new thing. And we're all been getting stitched up by governments and narratives coming from various media outlets, etc., about which way they want us to go. And as I said earlier, this is in the end, governments always win. Unfortunately, they always win. So all we can do as individuals is set ourselves up so we don't get ripped off. And I think part of your thesis there, therefore, is educate yourself.
Yes.
And
because school's not going to teach you this.
Yeah, no one's going to tell you this. So as part of your visit to Australia, by the way, someone told me sadly this is your last visit to Australia.
Well, I'm an old man, so this is a long trip.
Robert.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll come back. But in this visit, is your let's call it roadshow, are you espousing this very thesis?
Again, I created the cash flow board game because I learned everything playing Monopoly.
Yep.
And Maria Montessori, a great educational entrepreneur, says, what the hand does, the mind remembers. So by playing the cash flow board game, you actually fill out a financial statement. And your financial statement is what your banker wants to see. Your banker doesn't care what your report card says. So I can borrow a lot of money because I have strong financials, as you know. If I have bad financials, you give me a credit card.
Yeah, and I'll charge you more.
Yeah, it's a person got to take care of their this is your greatest asset, your greatest liability. And so I'm out here to encourage, because Aussie has been I've been coming here since 72.
Wow.
I came out here to play rugby union, Lost every game, but I loved it here. And it's a great country. It is a lucky country. And so today I was speaking at Randwick, and I was saying, get a board game, teach yourself, play it 10 times, and teach 10 people. Aussie can change the world. It's a small, powerful, lucky country. Or you can wait for school to teach you something.
The cash flow board game is called the cash flow board game. That's what it's called.
Because that's the two most important words in business.
Cash flow is totally is. Assets are important.
Which way is it flowing, in or out? Right? You want it flowing in.
You want more coming in than going out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it's about net cash flow. But so the cash flow board game, it's a game that you invented.
Yeah.
It's your game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Can I just tap into your intellect around the 2024 election? I know you're a friend of Trump's. You've done things together. You've collaborated, etc., on books, etc. I've met him on a couple of occasions, and we talked about the division in the United States. Is the division such that if either one of either Biden or Trump wins the election, presidential position, is it going to be such that neither one will have a proper mandate and can do nothing? In other words, they become hamstrung. Either the Senate won't pass anything that the lower house or the Congress passes, or the Congress won't agree with anything that the Senate proposes. Is that a potential to just maintain the division, no matter who wins?
Well, I think the problem with Trump, he's got guts,
He definitely does.
And he stepped on a lot of toes. Bankers. workers. They don't like him. So as I said, Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, they got taken out. So even if he's elected, his life is more in danger than, like I said, his two sons that are really good friends. And they got balls, They speak out, they work for the people. As I said, I know the Trump boys, I watch what they do. So just watch what a person does, not what they say. So I know them personally, and I wouldn't say this if it wasn't true. I've spent weeks, a week of hunting on a private island. No water, no toilets, nothing. Those boys ask no quarter. They go in the woods and they fish, and we have to catch our own food. They're tough young men, very good men, young men.
Do you think there's room for one of those two boys to take up the role in relation to that side of politics? I won't call it Republicans, but that side of politics, because, as you say, Donald is, he's got so many things against him at the moment. Even if he does win, it's still going to be a tough gig, a really tough gig. Yeah. And they're not going to stop coming after him.
Correct.
It's already started. It's one of those things you sort of can't stop unless he pardons himself on everything. Do you think one of those two boys might take up the baton?
Well, politics is a dirty game. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Yeah.
I just give them credit for being the spotlight, the limelight. I talk to them occasionally. I run into the boys, and I just give them credit. They got guts. It's hard to stand up to the banking system, as you know.
But Robert, I often look at Donald Trump and I think to myself, I don't know how many charges and how many cases he's got against him, but there's a lot. And then they've got this one where they're trying to take $500 million off him in cash, as a surety against his appeal.
Yeah.
How does he keep going? I don't know him well enough to answer that question, so I thought maybe I'd get some insights, because I don't know. I just don't know where he gets the guts to keep doing what he does. Why is he so driven? What is it? Is it because he's so driven to save America? Is that what it is?
I've written 2 books with the guy. I spent about total about 8 weeks working with him in his company, the Trump Organization. Really good people. But when they weaponize the FBI and the court system against the man, that's fascism. They take our court system and go after him. That's fascism. So America's in serious trouble. Serious trouble. And that's my concern.
Is his game to try and change that, though?
Well, that's why he got taken out, He says, I'm going to drain the swamp. He's talking about the central banks. The swamp. They're all in cahoots.
But I feel as though, just the sense I get is that Trump's on his own. I got a feeling Biden's not doing much at all, but there's a massive machine sitting behind him, well organized, politically, etc. And I just have this feeling that Trump's sort of there by himself, and he's sort of carrying the whole burden on his own shoulders. I just don't feel as though he has, I don't know if it's true or not, but it doesn't seem like he's got the same machine sitting behind him, other than those people who want to vote for him.
Right.
But the machine between him and those people, it doesn't feel as though that's the same as the Democrats have. And that machine looks like it's going to run him down. The Democrats' machine the liberal machine looks like it's going to run him out of town.
Right.
That's the gut feeling I have sitting here in Australia. And
I would say you're accurate.
So what hope is there for the US?
Well, I always say, put yourself on your own gold standard or silver standard, educate yourself. We're going in for a rough ride. Let me say it again. China is in serious financial trouble. America is the biggest debtor nation in the world, printing $1 trillion every 90 days. Germany's in bankruptcy. So Aussie is the lucky country. So you're sheltered a bit. But as you know, China is your largest trading partner. And so it's imperative that every Aussie educate themselves to protect themselves. But if you're hoping the government's going to save you, then you're in trouble.
It's funny. I had it in 2016. I sat opposite Trump and I interviewed him. And this is before any presidential aspirations. I think it was 16, might have been 15, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said to me, one of the things he's concerned about is Australia's trading relationship with China.
Yeah.
And he said to me, and I at the time naively said, well, yeah, but they're our biggest trading partner. We shouldn't upset them, sort of thing. He said, let me tell you something. He said, yeah, they'll take all your iron ore and everything else that you're selling, coal, etc., that you're selling to them. He said, but ultimately you'll end up owing them something.
Yep.
Owing them something. He said, like we are in the United States, you've got to do something about that. That's what you've got to do something about. And it's interesting, your words to me just then, because the biggest owner of the debt in the United States that gets issued on all these months, as you're talking
about, bonds,
is China.
Yep.
They hold,
Japan.
And Japan. They hold the greatest amount of debt.